Hey guys, this is Jared Glover with Glover Customs and Jim Glover Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Owasso, Oklahoma. And today I want to talk about the upcoming 2026 Grand Wagoneer. Now, I'm not able to share all the details until mid-October, and we aren't able to share photos and things like that. And frankly, there's not a lot of that available for us to share. There's been some teasers out on the internet and, a front-end update and some changes that they're making that we've all known this is coming. But I am going to share what I do know to the best of my ability. So right now, the 2025 model year, and really since they were launched in 2022, the breakdown of models has been somewhat confusing. So we've had the Wagoneer. We've had the Wagoneer L, which is the extended length version. We've had the Grand Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer L. And respectively, the Wagoneer has been targeted towards the Tahoe and the Ford Expedition and somewhat of an overlap with the Yukon and the Yukon Denali. And then the Grand Wagoneer, depending on trim level, has kind of started where Denali ends and goes up to compete with the Escalade and the Navigator all the way up to the Series 3 from a price standpoint. Well, what we now understand with the 2026 is the Wagoneer name is actually going away, and the Grand Wagoneer is going to cover really the breadth of the price range, and they're going to be able to compete with the other full-size SUVs in the standard segment with Tahoe and Yukon and Ford Expedition, and then also at the top end by trim level, still be able to go head-to-head with the Escalade and the Navigator and the things in the higher end of the large SUV segment. So I think this move is going to help us as dealers and also help consumers in understanding exactly how the Grand Wagoneer product walk will flow. And it's going to be really similar to what we've come to know with the Grand Cherokee and the Grand Cherokee L. So as of right now, the ability to order a 2026 Grand Wagoneer is now open. So we're able to start placing our orders with our allocation for our inventory, but also are able to place custom orders for any customers that have been waiting on a 2026 Grand Wagoneer. Now, we do know that from a price standpoint, as of now, we don't have pricing when we place an order, but we do have an approximate expectation of where each of the trim levels should land in relation to the competition that they're kind of poised to go head-to-head against. So if you have questions or if you want to talk about what that would look like with a custom order, we can even talk about discounts and be able to really maybe get a head start on you being one of the first to have the new 2026 Grand Wagoneer mid-cycle update from a custom order standpoint. And of course, through Glover Customs, we're going to be lifting one of the first Grand Wagoneers in the country to see what the 2026 Grand Wagoneer is going to look like with a little bit of a lift with some bigger wheels and tires on it. So today, we actually sat down and ordered my wife's car is going to be a 2026 Grand Wagoneer Summit Reserve Obsidian, and the plan for that is going to be able to get it in here and really do our part on figuring out, okay, what can we do with it? How are we going to lift it? How big of a tire can we fit? Not so much differently than what we did back in 2023 when the L first became available and we tested to see what would fit on a 24-inch Vossen wheel. And if you refer back to that video, the tire size, it's a metric size, but it fit like a 34.8-inch tire on a 24-inch wheel. Now, what we've done since then, more often than not, we're lifting them in the same manner, but we've come back to a 33 by 1250 tire on a 22-inch wheel, and it seems to be just about perfect for what most of our customers like, and it's actually what my wife prefers as well. So stay tuned. When the 2026 gets here, it's going to be a fun process, and I think that first build is going to be very, very cool. And if you have any interest in ordering your own and lifting your own with us at Glover Customs, feel free to reach out to me at jglover@jimglover.com. And as soon as pricing becomes available, we can talk about your pricing and discounts and be able to lock in the price that you're going to pay for your new 2026 Grand Wagoneer long before it arrives. And really similar to our Ram RHO and our Ram Heavy Duty sold order discounts, we're going to be able to offer you a significantly discounted price for being willing to place a custom order to wait on your perfect configuration of 2026 Grand Wagoneer to arrive. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly, jglover@jimglover.com. I can probably talk you through the way the trim levels are gonna land. The option packages are going to be available. It's going to be very similar to what we have now with Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer. Things are just going to be named differently. And then there's some new entrants along the way that are going to be pretty cool, especially in the lifted off-road vehicle space. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I look forward to working with you and talking to you more about the 2026 Grand Wagoneer. And stay tuned, because as soon as we reach mid-October and the pricing comes available and more photos and more details are able to be shared, we'll do another video. So be sure to like and subscribe. We'll do another video to come back and explain a whole lot more of what everything's going to look like for the 2026 Grand Wagoneer.